Hi, welcome back to the Speakerstack music channel. So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It'd be great to have you on board. And again, if you find this video helpful or useful or gives some value in some way, it'd be great if you could click the like button, give it the thumbs up. It just helps us push these videos out to more people. So this is video number 2 in a series of videos that I'm going to be doing where I create a drum beat template in Ableton 12. So I'm a guitarist, and if you're anything like me as a guitarist or someone who's involved in kind of more melodic instruments, your beats or your drums are very much an afterthought. I'm really lazy when it comes to these. I tend to start a song really with a riff or a chord sequence or a lead part or a synth melody or something, and then build it from there, which means that by the time, I maybe put a guide drum track in there, but by the time I actually get to the drums, they're an afterthought really. So I'm kind of creating these beat templates as a bit of a experiment so that I can actually have some drum templates pre-created, ready in Ableton that I can actually click on and start the track from that kind of foundation upwards. So build it from the drum kit upwards and just see if that helps my writing, helps how I'm approaching the songs that I'm creating in Ableton 12. So I hope you find that useful, and I hope you find some of this useful, because in today's video we're essentially going to be looking at Run DMC and Aerosmith's great song, Walk This Way. I'm going to show you how I've created the drum beat from that track in Ableton 12. Let's have a quick blast of it and see how it sounds. Awesome stuff. So it's really simple, this. You can almost hear those guitars about to kick in, but it is really simple. I'm going to show you how I've created it, but just a few things before we do proceed into that. Just a bit of housekeeping in terms of how I've set this this session up. So you'll see that the time signature is set at 4/4. You'll see that the BPM or tempo is set at 106. So it's quite fast-paced, funky rock beat, this one. The other thing to say on it is that I've already created the Impulse drum kit. That's been so that if you want to see how I've done that, then I will post some links at the end of this video that you can click on. And I think I created 3 videos a few months ago where I showed you how I created a drum kit from scratch using the Impulse instrument in Ableton. So if you go to let's just go to View and then go to the browser. Oops, I've taken it off. Let's try that again. The browser. And then you go to Instruments up here and then search for Impulse. Impulse is the inbuilt drum kit creator within Ableton. And, there are pre-designed kits that you can just click on. So you can click on a kit and drag it into one channel on here, and then you've got all of the drum kit in one channel. But alternatively, what I like to do is I have a separate channel for each element of the drum kit, and then what I might do at the end of that is create a group them together, and then apply some kind of global production parameters around the whole of the kit, but actually go in and produce each part of the kit separately. So you can really design the drum kit and make it sound like a proper kit, but one that sounds like your kind of kit, like the kind of kit you'd want to have set up. Because you can actually, with each Impulse instrument, you can go and you can drop different samples in. So you might have a particular kick drum sound that you like, you can drop that in, or you might have a snare sound which is slightly different, that you might want to have in, so you can put that in the snare channel, and then you can produce them separately, put all sorts of different effects on, etc, etc. So that's how I do it. But again, if you want to look into how I've done that in Impulse, then check out those videos at the end of this video. The next thing to say, I've done a bit of online research. Again, I'm not a drummer, so this is all a bit of rocket science to me. But essentially, if you want to create some sort of breakbeat drum beat, which this essentially is, it's kind of a breakbeat pattern, then you're going to need to work within 16-step drum beats or 16th note drum beats. So, and what that essentially is if you're working within a 4/4 kind of time signature, you've obviously got 4 beats within a bar, but within each of those beats you've kind of got quarter beats or quarter notes. So you're looking at, so essentially 4 beats with 4 quarter notes inside them gives you 16 beats across a bar, if you like, or 16 sixteenths within a bar. So in terms of how that might look, I've obviously just clicked on the clip editor down here, and you'll see that this obviously is you've got some patterns down here, and you've got a run of music along here. This is a period of time. This is a bar, essentially, this whole clip. And within that, you'll see you've got 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. But then you've also got 112, I think that's 113. 123, sorry. And so on. So essentially it gives you a means of putting more notes in than just your more beats in than just the 4 beats in a bar, because it's breaking it down to sixteenths. So the way that the way that works is you've got your first beat there, then you've got your second one would be here, third one would be here, fourth one would be here, and that's the first beat. And then you've got another 4 here, another 4 here, and then the final 4 here. And, drummers have a particular naming convention for what they call these beats, it looks like. And I guess it's a kind of a count that you're using when you're describing it. So you've got your 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A. I've got no idea what the E and the A stand for. If anyone knows, maybe post a comment in the comment section. But that's the phrasing that they use, the count that they use to describe the sixteenths, if you like. And I'm going to use that naming convention when I'm talking about where I position these beats. So let's have another quick blast, and then we'll go in and I'll describe how I've exactly positioned them. Although obviously you're getting an idea, you can see what's on the screen, but we'll talk through that. Okay, so yeah, you can almost hear those guitars about to launch in, can't you? This is where, as a guitarist, I really have to check myself, because I'd almost be inclined now just pick up the guitar and start blasting that in, rather than actually finishing off the drum part. Anyway, right, so let's progress with this, proceed with this. So with the kick, you're going to have a look at the kick drum, which is on this first, channel 2 actually, because we've got them grouped. So channel 2. These are all duplicating across, so this isn't a different pattern, it's the same pattern. I've just taken all 4 sections and duplicated them 4 times across, so that there's a bit more of a lengthier piece of music. We've got the first kick beat is on the first beat. The second kick beat is just before the third beat in the bar on the A part of that bar. So remember, we've got 2 E and A. So it's on the 2 A part of the second beat. Then we've got a third beat, which is on the third beat in the bar, bang on the beat. And then we've got a fourth beat, which is on the and part of the third section, if you like. So we've got 1, we've got 2 A, we've got 3, and we've got 3 and. And that's essentially the kick. So I hope that kind of makes sense. I'm trying to use the language that they use when they describe this on YouTube, with drummers, etc., in terms of how it's set up as sixteenths. The snare, right, so the snare is dead easy. The snare is just on the second and the fourth beat within the bar, because obviously you've got 1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. These correspond to the beats within the bar, and you've got 1 on 2 and 1 on 4. So that's nice and straightforward. The closed hi-hats, again, fairly straightforward. So you'll see we don't have 1 on the first beat, but we do have 1 on the and. We do have 1 on the second beat. We do have another 1 on the and. We have 1 on the third beat, on the and, on the fourth beat, and then on the and there. So it's on every half beat, I guess, is the way of describing it, apart from that first beat. And the reason it's not on that first beat is because you've got that classic open hi-hat here on that first beat, which just gives it that extra boost at the start of the bar, which we can hear if we play it. there you go. And that is it. It just literally uses the kick, the snare, the closed hat, and the open hat. That's pretty much what I've done, and I hope that's been useful. I guess in terms of when you'd use this, obviously if you were doing a cover of Run DMC, Aerosmith's track, then you're going to want to use something like I've set up here. But obviously as you're progressing through the song, you can embellish it. You know, it's up to you. But if you weren't working on a cover, it's a very distinct breakbeat. So if you are creating a track with this kind of breakbeat in it, you're going to be doing it with a kind of a nod to the Aerosmith Run DMC song, and that's fine. I mean, this does happen in music. But you're going to be looking to create some sort of fast-paced, funky rock song. So again, it's going to be something riffy. You know, that's the kind of sound I'd be going for. So yeah, I hope you found that useful. The final thing really to show you is, and the whole purpose of this really is just to kind of give me a template that I can use if I wanted to create a song around this beat. So I'm going to show you how I do that. If you go to File and then go to Save Live Set as Template, dead easy. You can go in there. It's already set one up. You can see we've got fast, funky rock beat there that it's already created because I'd already set one up for it, so it's kind of predicted that. And then when you're wanting then to go back into creating that kind of track, you don't need to open up a new set, if you like. You just go to the template, click on that, and it will automatically open you up a new unnamed Ableton 12 set, but with that drum beat already dropped in, with the impulse instruments already dropped in. So it's a fantastic way of working. It saves so much time, and it's one that I'm going to be using a lot more moving forward. So I hope that's been useful. Again, fantastic. If you have found it helpful and useful, and you are interested in hearing and seeing more of these videos, then please consider subscribing to the channel. If it's offered value, then click the thumbs up button. It'd be brilliant to get this out to more people. As I said, I'm aiming for about 100 subscribers by Christmas, which would be awesome to have 100 people on board for what's essentially a very small but slightly growing channel. Check out some of the demos we've done if you're interested in those. We're really living and breathing creating music online. We've got a label that we've just set up, Filthy Clean Records. We're releasing stuff through that. We've got another Speakerstack record coming out in the next month, a whole new bunch of original tunes. Some of them are demos that are online. So again, if you want to check out some of those, that'd be fantastic. But really, you know, if you found this helpful and it's getting you excited about creating your own tunes, that's awesome. And I really appreciate everyone who's clicking on these videos and giving them a view. It just means a lot. So thanks ever so much, and hopefully see you in the next video.